Welcome to Wizard Workshops, where we love to share and inspire. And yes, I'll share a little bit about the making of the latest kind of blank book, as seen here, notebook with lovely Munkin paper and marbled end sheets. So we marble a whole lot of A4 paper, cut it down, fold it like this to make 2 A5 end sheets per book. So there's quite a lot of marbling involved and quite a lot of everything really. So this is the pattern or embossing pattern. I'll take you over to the roller, which is an old pastry roller, which works just fine for pressing these book patterns. So I use a kind of neoprene, dense rubber. You can, I'm told that it's better if your paper is damp, as it normally is. And mine is too, but yes, the standard method is using something more like more like felt. So that's something I haven't yet been persuaded of. Here is a sanding block with these foam sanders, foam backed, and they are for sanding the edges of the paper in blocks, and this is paper that's been edge sanded, so ready to bind. So we get one end paper, another end paper, put it in the cover as per this, and then we will be I'll go back and explain how I make the covers, by the way, how I finish the covers. But here is where I simply glue, with a glue line on a glass sheet, I glue the edges of the books, of the book block. So a line of, this is the thinned one, this is for the end papers, which is brushed on, but the actual spine and the book block I glue with unthinned, and Shelley's Quickset wood glue is what I use, and it is a bit quicker than the other. Now I think I will actually show a line just so you see exactly how I do it. Whoops, there'll be a bit of editing in this one. Yeah, so this I put on the nozzle. I do normally try and either replace the lid or put a piece of blue tack, which is on top of the nozzle. So there we go. Okay, let's pretend it's unthinned. Okay, so you have a line like that. You get the book block like this, and you basically do that, and you make sure that it's fully saturated in there, and then you put it in the cover, fold the cover deftly over, and then paste down the end sheet there, and then fold over to there and paste it down there, and then put it under a weight. And we have weights, we have these weights like that, which is quite good. And with these embossed covers, I like to put a piece of this sort of foam in between each book, just so that the heavy embossing doesn't get squashed down, although it is quite stiff, and I'll show you why. We have shellac, which is quite a strong cover, I put it on, brush it on to the cardboard once it's been embossed. So there's a piece before embossing, so that's Atelier, a crimson, and then a Payne's grey, and sometimes a bit of very dark blue around the edge, so that gives it a bit of toning. So I'd end up like that, B. And this is initials that somebody, well, my sister has ordered, and various initials of various grandchildren. And so it's bespoke, but I can change the letters individually with care using temporary glue like glue stick, and putting some various laser cutouts from a $2 shop, so you can do all kinds of combinations of letters and these various cutouts. So that's about it, apart from the edge. The edges, yes, I actually, the edges are rounded after the guillotining. After the gluing is guillotining 3 sides to trim away all the excess, which of course would be look like that. So I'll show you the guillotine. That is the most challenging thing. A printer could do it for you, but there's a few tricks to it. You have to be careful not to crush the spine. So I put a little spacer, magnetic spacer, that means that the clamp actually just doesn't actually touch the doesn't crush the spine. But apart from that, 3-sided, see 3 sides guillotined in a guillotine, like this hand guillotine, German one. Chinese ones unfortunately are not as robust, and I highly recommend the German one, and I'm trying to remember the brand. Achtung, attention, hasn't got the brand on it there, but if you look up German hand guillotine, you will definitely find them. They're brilliant. So this is sort of a quick sort of look around the slightly shambolic looking work area for making books, blank books, binding books in general. I've been working on the prototype rainbow notebooks as well. So obviously these, the book blocks get dyed, edge dyed in an initial process. But normally we just have paper guillotined which I guillotine to size, and as I say, sand the edges so that the glue is definitely sure to take, so there's no stray papers. So this is all ready to whoops, there we go. This is all ready to bind this lot, and glue, and then later guillotine, probably in the morning. Okay, and the 4-phase misprint. It should be printed actual size, but it was fit to page in this case. But they did a jolly good job of fixing it and give me the rejects. Oh, yes, one other thing. The gold lining, gold edging I should say. After sanding some corners, I usually sand the corners. First I use a little half round kind of improvised cutter offer of the corners, and then I sand it on a sanding wheel. And when the book, see it's a bit that's burnt a bit there, and then when it's ready like this, it's ready for putting in once again in a foamy, protected foam block like that, foam protected I should say, and ready to rub or paint the gold on. And the trick there is you rub it on. I often use my fingers, and otherwise a short bristly brush, like one that I can't quite see, but something like that except smaller. And then once it's been painted, the trick is rub it off, the excess off the cover, and then do this to make sure the pages don't stick together. But that's just a recent little trick that I discovered, because it is possible to glue these pages together with the gold. But the gold and generally yes, the gold is also rubbed in a similar way over the embossed part, either by hand and then touched up with a brush, or I've been using once again this sort of foam, like yoga mat type foam. If you rub the gold paint onto a rollery thing, improvised roller like this, which is just wrapped around a tube, that will generally do quite a good job of going on over the gold, putting the gold on to the embossed area, but it tends to get a lot of excess gold, which is not as neat. So this is done with that, and it's not as neat. So I have resorted to more careful means, and I would love to hear from anyone who knows of a kind of applicator that could just go totally neatly over and apply gold to the raised areas. Partly it's having a flat, knowing you're holding your cover completely flat when you are doing the gold, and that is why I have been known to use, when the covers are warped, which they used to be more, but with care you don't warp the covers. But if they are warped, this is just a box with a holy thingy, perforated piece of, it can be plywood, or well, whatever they have for that. That one is metal, and second hand, and all you have is a box that's airtight, and it has a hole. There's a hole in the side, there it is, which of course is where the Electrolux, the vacuum cleaner hose, can go, and that gives you quite a suction through the holes. So that's how I hold the covers completely flat if I so desire. But as usual, it's all evolved and evolving, and if you change one thing, you solve one problem. Sometimes you make another problem. Sometimes you solve another problem. So here's to solving problems and not getting too many new problems. So I hope this maybe helps and inspires, and any questions in the comments, and I'll try and answer them, at least to the best of my knowledge, and perhaps a little beyond. Right. Well, I think I'll go for a little cup of tea in our dream space kitchen. There we go, looking out the window. There's Gisborne in the late afternoon, very sunny.